Hey guys, we are at the Shawnee National Forest this week and we're talking all about leftovers.
Oh, while having a whole lot of fun. It smells like horses.
Particularly one end of horses.
You're familiar with that end, aren't you? She married one. Hi, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 5 of As Good As It Gets.
I'm Cris.
And I'm Mikey.
And this is a weekly chat from our campsite.
Yeah. We are in Shawnee National Forest down in southern Illinois this week.
Yeah, we're super excited. There's going to be tons of new content on the channel, from cooking in our camper kitchen and all kinds of yummy crock pot and grilling and instant pot recipes. You should see those coming soon. And also some on location stuff where you show them a little bit of the national forest.
Fishing, and we went out and saw Camel Rock and the Garden of the Gods down in deep in the heart of the Shawnee National Forest, and actually got to hang out with Bigfoot. He's down here.
Yeah, and Superman.
There's all
kinds of stuff to see. So you guys will have to stay tuned to the channel and see as those things come out.
Yep.
But in the meantime, we've got some sticky business to deal with. Our sticker winners from last episode.
I wonder what you're getting at.
Not the fly sticky paper that I found myself stuck to earlier today.
We'll talk about that here in a minute, but it's hilarious.
But anyhow, there are no pictures of that. I would have killed him. But that's a whole nother a strip of wax. No, you should have already heard from us in the comments in last week's show if you were a winner of one of our pot stickers. So make sure you get us your address, follow the instructions on those comments if you heard from us. And between you guys and our patrons that are a part of Miss Ad Sticker Club, we'd love to see pictures of you guys with your pot stickers.
Absolutely. We want to see what you're sticking them on.
Yes.
Even if it's your forehead. I would totally do that. Yes.
And so we want to see those pictures so we can start doing some Crock Posse shout outs. So definitely send us those to Cris at recipesthatcrock.com.
Or Mikey at recipesthatcrock.com.
Or Aunt Lou at recipesthatcrock.com. You guys are going to get used to that. We say that every time.
Pretty much, yeah.
And if you don't have a sticker, but you have a Crock Posse t-shirt, or you just like cooking with your crock pot and you want to send us a picture of something yummy you made, we would love to see that too. So just send us your pictures.
Now, before we go on, I want to talk about the fly on the wall. And on my face and on my legs and all over. See, we are at a horse camp. And there's not just campers and horses down here because, well, horses do things that attract flies. So we've got flies everywhere. So we're fighting these flies, and we stopped at Walmart, which is about 30 miles up the road. It's not anywhere near close. And there was they were out of fly ribbons, but we got this fly stick. It was just a big tube with the sticky stuff on it. We're in a horse camp. There's flies. And it filled up pretty quick. So Miss Ad and I were getting some supplies and bait to go fishing a few days ago, and I got a text from Cris on the way out. She's like, stop and get some fly paper. So I got those little ribbon thingies, and we've got 4 of them hanging in our trailer right now, trying to catch as many of the flies as we can.
We are winning the battle. There's a war going on, and I am winning. But
sometimes there's a casualty of that war.
I was going to say, I lost the battle earlier today, but we're still winning the war.
She was bent over picking up something. She stood straight up, and her face got stuck onto one of those fly strips.
No, we're not talking about it anymore. That's enough. It's disgusting. It's gross. It's over with. I have recovered.
I so wish I had tape of that.
No. So anyhow, now enough of that.
But that's the fun part of being on vacation. But part of vacation means people are on vacation.
Yes.
Like Aunt Lou.
Yes, Aunt Lou had already planned her vacation before we had planned this trip, and so we've kind of been winging a lot of things this week.
So what do you do sometimes when you've had a lot to do? You have
leftovers. So that's what we're gonna do for Friday favorites this week, because we haven't always featured Friday favorites during the weekly chat. So we've had lots of Friday favorites you guys haven't seen on a weekly chat. So we thought we'd go to one of our favorites this week that maybe we haven't discussed, and that would be pizza inspired recipes. If you know us at all, you know that we are big pizza lovers. And so what is your favorite pizza recipe on the site?
Well, see, I'm kind of a rebel, and I don't just want to think of the crusted pizza with the melty cheese and the sausage and the peppers and the onions. I want to think of a soup.
Yeah, especially this time of year.
Our pizza soup is really, really good. Yeah, especially it's starting, the leaves are turning, it's starting to get a little cool. So who doesn't like a little soup? But
yeah,
I also like them on pizza.
Yes, we have 2 different pizza soups now, but the one he's talking about is the original on the website.
Yes.
So you'll definitely have to check that out in the Friday favorites we link down below. My personal favorite is still the Bubble Up Pizza Bake. That is just amazingness in a crock pot.
And it's easy too.
It's so easy. It's so yummy. I still think it's one of my favorite recipes on the site. So definitely it's a must check out. And then as for what the reader favorite pizza inspired recipe on the website is, definitely hands down the crustless pizza. People love that. They go nuts over it. They talk about it. A lot of low carb people like it, and that was back before we were even making low carb recipes. Thing, yeah. People just kind of indicated that that's what it was, and so definitely everybody tends to love it. So those are things that you definitely want to check out. There's many more pizza inspired recipes both on the website and then also in Aunt Lou's post from. It's been a while back, but we're bringing the life back into it, kind of like you do with leftovers. Yeah. So speaking of that, I think it's time for reader emails, questions, and comments.
Reader emails.
So speaking of leftovers, we got a comment the other day, and I mean, we try as best as we can to read every comment. We don't always respond to everyone. We do try and read through them all. Trust me, we're really trying to stay in touch with our Crock Posse. But every once in a while, there's a comment that just absolutely sticks out. Now, this comes from Ajax Martin, and this is in our Instant Pot Mississippi beef roast, which is a very popular recipe.
You absolutely made his day with this message.
Now, I don't know if this is what you sound like, but you know, if you read something, you get it in your head a certain way. So I'm going to say this the way that I read it in my head. If this is not what you sound like, I hope this does not offend you, but
please do not be offended by his
my day.
You should hear how he impersonates me.
This is you should hear how he impersonates me.
It's not.
So this
don't get offended.
This is Ajax Martin, their comment on the Instant Pot Mississippi beef roast. Now this has nothing to do with this recipe, but it could. I've seen y'all make that Mississippi roast, and I have a little trick that I do with any of the leftover meat. After you look in the fridge and see that little bowl of roast that's cold and won't barely be enough for one person, here's what you do. You take that little piece of meat, you chop up in little pieces, and you put it in a pan or a small crock pot with some brown gravy mix, 1 or 2 packages, depending on how many people you want to feed, and you make some French fries. I know you have an air fryer.
Yes,
put some French fries on a plate or in a bowl, depends on how much gravy you want, and you sprinkle some shredded cheese on them. I use sharp cheddar. Pepper jack is good, but no one else around here likes it. Then you pour some of that gravy mix over it while it's hot, and honey hush, it's redneck poutine. My crew loves it, and I hope y'all try it. Now, Ajax, again, I don't know if that's what you sound like. I'm talking like that all the time.
I know.
But that's how I read it, and we laughed at this. We love it, and trust me.
Didn't laugh at it, laughed with it, because 1, that sounds delicious,
yeah.
And 2, we love your approach to the kitchen.
I think all week, once a day, one of us has said, honey hush.
Oh, we love it. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Ajax. And honestly, next time
He's
that we
totally
have some, I'm
gonna
going to
do
try
that.
that because
He's
I would totally make
that.
me some redneck poutine.
Yes, yes. Well, in other reader questions, we got a question this week from one of our patrons over on Patreon. And so Claudia wrote, My husband likes soup, but doesn't feel like it's a meal all on its own. If you were going to make the broccoli cheddar soup as a side, what crock pot meal would you serve as the main? And so what I shared with Claudia was, if you're going to do that, because I hear that from a lot of people, that maybe your husband or your significant other or someone in your family doesn't really think soup checks the box for like a full meal, which usually this one doesn't either if it doesn't involve a lot of meat.
Yeah, where's the meat? I want meat.
Yes. And so what I suggested to Claudia was to make one of our meat dishes that you could either serve the soup on the side, or you could even maybe serve the soup over top of as kind of like a topping, if that's what the people in your life wanted to do. So the two recipes that I suggested to her was our shredded chicken, our oh so good chicken. It's just got a really great juicy flavor to it, and I think that broccoli cheese soup would be very yummy over it. And then the other dish that I suggested to her was the easiest pulled pork ever. It's got great flavor, again, super juicy, and I think it would complement that soup wonderfully. So that's just a different way to kind of think of things. If you guys shy away from soups because somebody doesn't like it, start thinking of it as possibly as a topping to something else. Or you could serve it on the side. You know, if you could also serve up our loaded baked potatoes and maybe just not make the loaded toppings and just serve some soups over it, or chili or something like that. Like, you could do all kinds of different stuff. So that's our reader questions, comments, and emails for
Very
this
good.
section.
Now watch. I don't know if we've changed that yet or not, but if we did, hope you liked it. If we haven't, we're about to.
I don't think it's changed yet because we're kind of out of pocket right now.
We are.
Yeah. So we'll have it changed later.
I like that.
Yeah.
How about we do the menu?
Okay.
Speaking of leftovers,
Yes.
you see the theme in this yet? We are going to go back through. I went through the weekly menus, all 57 of them. Kind of like how
Over a year's worth, guys.
You know how you like go in the fridge and you're like looking through all the leftovers, like, oh no, I don't want to have that. Oh no, I don't, that might, yeah, I'll grab this one. Well, this is what I did, and I went all the way back to week 2 of our shows and our weekly menu, and I saw this menu and went,
Yes. So to clarify, we're going to do a leftover, as in a repeat menu this week, since we're kind of out of location, and like we said, we're kind of a man down this week.
But dude, think of it this way.
Yeah.
You haven't done this menu. If you're doing our menu and you're following along, you haven't done this menu in 55 weeks. So it's been over a year. Let's bring it back.
Yes.
So let's go with Monday.
Oh, I know why he picked this. I know why he picked this menu.
Mississippi chicken thighs with parsley potatoes.
His 2 favorite things in the world.
Now I could go on and on and on about Mississippi chicken, but
He loves those parsley
honestly,
potatoes.
it's those parsley potatoes, that buttery, parsley, salty potato,
Yes.
those little baby potatoes, you know.
Yes.
To me, they're like candy. They are so
Yes.
good, and I think they would complicate. I think they would complement.
Complicate things.
They won't
would
complicate things
complicate
one bit. They will complement that Mississippi chicken very well. Honey, hush. And then Tuesday, let's have a little Taco Tuesday again with some steak tacos, because, well, you had me at steak, and then you put that in a taco. Ole. And then along the side of that, make a little Spanish rice, you know, keep that whole
yummy.
Latin, Mexican, south of the border theme going on.
Yes.
And then Wednesday, we will have, well, leftovers.
Leftovers
Or
of the leftovers.
if you don't want to have leftovers because you're getting sick of leftovers, maybe you make the beef stew. The crock pot beef stew is very, very good.
Oh, I bet that's the best ever. The one that I never made.
The one you never
That
made.
we
that-
talked about. I think we talked
Yeah.
about that last week,
We
but
did.
it wasn't on the menu.
No, but you could still make it.
But clearly, you should make it.
But let's say that Wednesday you had leftovers and you didn't do the beef stew, or maybe you're still in the mood for some soup because of the change in the weather. Thursday, you can do the chili verde soup.
That's one of my favorite
Yeah.
soups on the
It's
entire
really
site.
good.
I love
You know
that.
what chili verde means in Spanish?
Green pepper,
Green chili.
green chili.
Ole.
Ole.
And serve that with alongside a little salad, you know. And then Friday, why don't you get the kids involved, because kids love anything that's sloppy. So how about a little sloppy Joe cheeseburgers with our crock pot baked potatoes.
And I will tell you, those Sloppy Joe cheeseburgers are my all-time favorite Sloppy Joe of any kind. I love those cheeseburgers.
Yeah,
they are
very
so
good.
yummy.
Very, very good. And then for breakfast sometime this week, how about maybe the blueberry breakfast casserole?
That's also really good.
I'm a living truth that it is the best thing ever for breakfast. One of the best things anyway.
Yes. It has
I
a
love me
really
some blueberries.
interesting texture to it.
And it's very good. And then of course, we gotta have something for dessert this week. And why not a little chocolate? Why not a lot of chocolate? Why not the chocolate lava cake? Now, if you've never made this before, I'm gonna say when you do make it, you're gonna look at it and say exactly what I said in the video. This looks like a mess. Because if you haven't made anything like this, you're not gonna believe that all that soupiness on top, that layer, won't be there when you're done. It's because it all soaks down into the bottom. So when you dip into it, you see that chocolate lava at the bottom. It's very, very good. I know it's one of your friends' recipes that are their favorites. So.
Yes. There are people that I'm not allowed to come to their house unless I bring that dish.
Yes, so we make that dish a lot. But thus concludes the leftovers of the menu.
And our leftover week.
Yeah.
So we'll be back to a normal menu and Friday favorites and everything.
As long as we can find our way out of the middle of nowhere.
And find Aunt Lou.
Yeah. Where are you at, Lou? Anyway. But we're having a great time and we're happy that y'all joined us here.
Yes, and so like I said, stay tuned the next couple weeks as you see all kinds of fun footage that came from our week that we spent here. So I think that's about it.
Hey, good job on those leftovers, babe.
Thanks. Send us your questions.
Send us your comments.
Bye.
Bye. Not
My
you.
hair kept
You're
getting
never
in my
awful.
face, and I was like, ugh, doing that the whole time.
You were like, what?
No.
Come on,
All right.
let's go make out. We'll just have to project.
Okay. Project.
We're gonna do it newlywed style.
What's that mean?
We're gonna do like this. You ever seen the newlyweds where they're behind the thing like they're making out and then they go? Like that?
No.
I like that idea.
You like any idea that involves making out.